I can do good as well, whatever tad bit that I can do.
It is very necessary to have a very frank counseling.
I think the work that we do, it's very real. You can see that it's sort of answering a very real need.
Inner satisfaction I would get only when I do something which I can start and which I can continue.
A lot of hurdles to cross if you want to sustain yourself in social space.
Every minute is a challenge for us.
Hi, I'm Aparna. I'm from Jobs for Good. I pursued my Bachelor's in Life Sciences, post which I pursued my Master's in Human Resources from Mumbai University. I think there are a lot of differences because the processes are almost non-existent in the social sector, although the intent is very high that yes, we want to be, processes driven and systems driven as organizations. So what I feel is the biggest challenge is the culture fitment bit, because there are a lot of candidates who have the skills but culturally may not fit into the social sector environment purely because they can't work in an unstructured environment. They may be switchovers from the corporate sector, so they're very used to the organization functioning in a certain way. It could be simple things sometimes as simple as admin and facilities management, which you almost, like I discovered that you almost take it for granted in the corporate sector. And you may not have a very great facilities management or an admin system in the social sector, at least at the initial stage. Basic stuff like maybe like a job description document is lacking in most cases. Sometimes the job descriptions are there, but they are not updated, so they don't align with the organization structure, the reporting lines, etc. So I think that's typically how it is. We basically provide recruitment and HR advisory services to the non-profit sector, CSR enterprises as well as for-profit social enterprises. And we do cross-level recruitment. We also help organizations develop their systems and processes, right from, say, a performance management system to a recruitment process, to designing the org structure and creating the reporting lines and then creating job descriptions rather than simply creating JDs, just out of the blue. So creating HR systems, tools, processes, as well as recruitment, these are the two areas we focus on. I think the requirements pretty much would be standard what you would find in the corporate sector. I mean, they look for organizations which have a very clear vision and mission, because considering is the social sector, that is the driving point actually. So they are clear in the sense that they want they want to work in an organization which has some sort of a social impact which they can see on the ground. In the sense, it's very different when you donate an X amount of money from an office versus actually seeing how that money is getting utilized and somebody actually benefiting from that, amount. So I think people want to see on the ground impact at the end of the day. That's what also is a driving factor. Other than that, simple things. I think they want a clear reporting structure. They want to know what their growth prospects will be. What do I do maybe 3-4 years down the line in the sector, in the organization, in a role like this, all sorts of things. In terms of salary, most of the times when they approach, assuming that they consciously are applying in the non-profit space, they understand that they're not going to probably get a very high salary increment. So somewhere they're mentally prepared that yes, I'm going to have to compromise on that bit. Having said that, to what extent they will compromise is completely up to candidates. But most people at least expect at par. On an average, if I look at it, people at least expect at par salaries, or at the most, maximum they'll go up to a minus 20% cut in that sense. I don't think below that, they would really be motivated unless they've really peaked out and they've retired, and, because that's another category of candidates that approach you sometimes. They say that I've done my bit, now I'm, willing to come back and give back to the society in that sense. So that's a different category that we're talking about. most of the requirements that come to us are mid-management level upwards, because availing services of a recruitment company is an expensive affair for them. They will not, as much as possible at a junior level, they wouldn't want to invest that kind of money. So it's usually the mid-management and upwards, these are the kind of requirements that come on to us. I think the first and the foremost thing is they're looking at people who can work by themselves, because given the constraint in terms of the people resources, you're not going to have a manager overlooking you all the time. So they need people who are self-driven, self-motivated, can work independently with, bare minimum instructions and, can drive things by themselves. I think that is, irrespective of the level, I think that's one thing that's kind of common when you're hiring, in the social space. Yeah.